And in addition to the cruises, Friday night was Light Up Cincinnati, and this was a chance to get a picture of the river that will probably never be recreated. The city, as always, was unusually beautiful, but with the tall stacks and their lights, this picture might be worth more than 1,000 words. The river has always provided that extra inspiration for photographers and artists alike, and capturing the flavor tall stacks was that challenge.
There's an old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
We get to capture all the events that are happening. You're never going to be able to experience this ever again.
Whether it's captured during that magical moment in time, or watching the images come to life as a spectator in front of a Frank McElwain painting.
When I was a kid, I used to pass papers and loved the movies. First of the month when the comic books came out, oh, that was a big day. When I paint these scenes, I try to really put myself right down there on the street. I put in things that I'd like to see. As a result, they're more or less romantic paintings.
We thought Frank's work would be appropriate because he understands the history of the stern-wheeler age and could capture the romance and the beauty of the stern-wheelers, but we also had to capture the spirit of the skyline, so we wanted to juxtapose the modern skyline against the historic riverboats.
It's not so much the subject matter as how the painting's handled color-wise and with the brush strokes, again, when somebody sees it, they just have an impression of being there.
There are some who might say we live in a plastic society, what with the 1980s having become the decade of conformity. It is refreshing as we progress toward our tricentennial to admire those flashes of individuality, those artists who conform to nothing but what lingers in their mind's eye.
In composing a photograph, I always look for very interesting foreground and make that the critical part of the photograph. If it's not interesting in the front, I don't really want to show what's in the background of the image.
I'm approaching it from a documentary standpoint, like photographing the event as it happens, people and activity. Hopefully we'll have nice light there too, but I think it's one of those sort of picture-perfect situations in a lot of ways.
I haven't really thought about it that much, but I want to be inside the boats a lot. I want to see what they look like and to shoot the people who actually work on the boats.
These images, whether captured by a camera or the stroke of a brush, will remain a constant reminder of this joyous celebration.
The nice thing about it is you put yourself in history in a way. You're part of the event, you're capturing it, you're giving something back to the city that not a whole lot of people have an opportunity to do.
This handful of talented artists accepted the task of documenting this year's events. Events, people, and places to be neatly tucked away for future generations to view and enjoy. Of this Queen City, a moment frozen in time. Come, step inside, won't you?
This weekend has shown Cincinnati to the world with a little extra dressing, and I hope everybody who lives here had a chance to see it firsthand. What do you think? Should we do this again next weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good idea.